How's it going, everyone? This is Mike. First video in about a month. First one in 2016, so Happy New Year. About a week late. I've said this before, but the longer I stay away from making videos, the harder it is to get my face back in front of the camera. So just give me a break here, folks. Try to ease my way back into it. Anyway, all right. I'm here to... Why am I here? I'm here to talk to you about the strangest film that you have probably never seen. You maybe you never will. You don't want to after I tell you about it. But I would be kind of surprised if anybody that might be watching this video has seen this movie or has even heard about it. So let's find out, okay? Prove me wrong. This is an Italian film. I'll show you the cover of the DVD-R. Okay? An Italian film called... Well, I'll give you the Italian version first, then I'll translate it for you. So let me butcher the Italian title. It's called FERMATEIL MONDO VOGLIO SCENDERE, which translates as Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. Okay? Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. Not to be confused with a British musical that came out in the early 1960s. This is totally unrelated. I think the Italians just ripped off the title. Anyway, directed by a guy named Giancarlo Cabelli. Released in 1970, although some film lists have it released in 1968. I don't know which one is true. It's very much a product of that time, though, the late 60s, early 70s. It has that kind of feel about it and the kind of music and all that. It stars an Italian actor that I had never heard of before named Lando Buzzanca, who I found on IMDb. He's got this long list of film credits going all the way from the present day. He's still working in Italian TV and movies. I don't like you raising my hand, but this is like a list going down to, I think, sometime in the early 1960s. So he's been around a long time. Very good looking guy in 1970. And his co-star is my favorite actress, Barbara Steele. And she is terrific in this, in one of her many non-horror film roles. So if you've never seen Barbara Steele outside of horror films, this would be a very good introduction to what she can do as a comedian. Here's the back of the DVD-R. Has a very nice picture of Barbara with her black hair flying all over the place. Okay. And the rest of the Italian actors I'm not really familiar with. The other leading actress is a woman named Paola Pitagora, who also has a long list of credits. She's very, very beautiful and very good in this film. So what is this about? It's hard to describe. It's a comedy. It's a satire. It's kind of a commentary done in a very comedic way, but it's a commentary on television, consumerism, celebrity, relationships, takes a few shots of religion, all sorts of things that in contemporary Italian society. And it's kind of like a drug-induced version of It's a Mad World, where you have this strange group of people moving very quickly from one crazy situation to another, and it's all done in a very almost like a slapstick manner. There's lots of physical comedy. It's not meant to be taken very seriously because everyone is just acting way over the top in their roles, you know. But it's done very well, and it's fascinating to watch. Okay, the story, I'll try to give you the bare bones. There's this group of people living in a high-rise apartment building. I think it's located in Rome or a suburb thereof, but it's not the Rome you see in picture postcards. It's just an ugly part of the city where it's just rows and rows of look-alike apartment buildings and lots of traffic. There's nothing beautiful to look at in this part of Rome. So anyway, they're living in this high-rise apartment building. One guy is an artist, one guy is a writer. The others don't seem to be doing much of everything. 2 or 3 guys, a couple of women. And one of the guys living there, the one played by Lando Buzzanca, his name is Ricky Ciccarelli. Now, Ricky has something wrong with his body, something wrong with his abdomen. He was injured during the war or something during his military service. And there's a sound that comes out of his abdominal area that sounds like a hoarse voice. And he's able to channel that sound and make it actually form words, okay? He can speak through this sound as well as speaking through his voice. So naturally, he thinks he can become a ventriloquist. He's perfect for it. He fashions this strange little robot puppet out of looks like household appliance, coffee pot or something, and he goes to a TV station and he auditions with this little robot that he calls Spazzolino, the impish robot, and the suits sitting around the guys who are looking for the next big TV star, the next big phenomenon, they just think it's great. They see dollar signs all over the place, and they make Ricky into an overnight star. They put a stupid superhero uniform on the guy and make him into this children's idol all over Italy. And it just seems like it happens overnight. And he's the money's coming in. They're using him to sell all kinds of products. And the way they talk to him about the fact that today you're on top and tomorrow you're going to be nothing, so you need to take advantage of this as much as you can. And their philosophy, one of the lines from the film, the family is founded on TV. There is no TV without a family. There is no family without a TV. So they're going to use Ricky and his appeal to children and their parents and sell everything they possibly can. Every kind of food, candy, cakes, cookies, snacks, everything they can sell. They're going to make as much money as they can before Ricky is, off the air and nobody cares about him. So, and Ricky is so just kind of a really dumb guy. He just goes along with whatever they want. So there's one really fantastic scene where Ricky is making a personal appearance at a Catholic girls' school, like an elementary school. So they're all little girls. And the nuns are leading the girls out in procession out in the schoolyard, where Ricky is going to sort of appear out of this big receptacle, this big box. It's like it's a box that's all wrapped up. So they're all singing, right? They're all singing around Ricky and getting ready to welcome him and his puppet. And as the box starts to open, the nuns just start going hysterical. The nuns are being played by men, by the way. So they got these outrageous hats on, and they're all just having this religious ecstasy, which is done for outrageous comedic effect. And then Ricky appears, and he's the big hero of the day. So this all goes on. The story kind of progresses in that way. What happens to Ricky and the people around him, the people that he still lives with in this apartment house. He has a girlfriend named Danielle, played by Barbara Steele, my favorite actress. And Barbara Steele is very good in this. She is wild beyond belief. She is in love with Ricky. She's very possessive, and she wants nothing more than to have him marry her. Her way of trying to convince the guy to marry her is to constantly attempt suicide, so that he will be so sympathetic that he will marry her. But all it does is just drive him crazy and make him want to run away from her. In the early part of the film, she tries to kill herself by drinking detergent. So when they're reviving her, she's got bubbles coming out of her mouth. It's not done for tragic effect at all. It's very, very, very funny. But so that's the way things go. And eventually something happens where Ricky falls from grace, and then everybody is running back and forth trying to find a way to save Ricky and his career, and it's just insane. There's a part of the film. What actually makes Ricky fall from grace is that one night, all the people living in his Danielle does not live with him, by the way. She lives in her own place, and all the people living in Ricky's apartment house, they have another guy come over to take pictures of Ricky, so he's waiting for him to get home, right? So this guy has some LSD, gives it to the people there. They all start tripping. All the imagery and everything in the film goes completely crazy. All of a sudden, it's a psychedelic nightmare. And so Danielle shows up looking for Ricky. They decide that they all want to get her into bed, and they have this orgy going on. Then Ricky shows up, followed by a camera crew from a TV station, which is going to do a visit to his home to see how he lives in private, right? So they all arrive, and Ricky is pulled into the orgy, and the cameras are going away like this, and everything just goes to hell. It's on every newspaper in Italy the next day. So that's why Ricky falls from grace, and it gets even crazier from there. And it's funny because I have a VHS copy of this movie. that a friend sent me many years ago. This was in Italian with no subtitles, and so I just watched it, not really following the story and just watching the imagery. This, of course, has English subtitles, but I'm not sure I understand most of it. At least, especially the second half, the things that happen and the people that get involved with it gets crazier and crazier. The imagery gets crazier, and there's a lot of it that I really don't get. It's one of these films that you have to watch again and again and again. But it does make some interesting little comments about consumerism and the nature of celebrity. And it's if you're looking for something that is different, and I mean different with a capital D, this is something that might interest you. This is a very avant-garde experimental film that deserves some attention. It would be nice if something like this would kind of circulate around. So I'm here to recommend this to you. I found this on a website called Trash Palace, which is a good place to find a lot of obscure stuff. I've been to their website and searching around for a lot of different things. They have a lot of very obscure European films, and I think that most of them are not available on commercial DVDs, which is why, you know, they take things and make them into DVD-R off of VHS tapes. The transfer is beautiful. It's letterboxed. The color, everything looks really perfect, and the sound is good as well. So I would recommend the film and Trash Palace, and I'll leave a link below so you can search it out. Anyway, thank you for watching. So let me know if you know anything about Stop the World. I Want to Get Off. Good night.